The Constitutional Court has ruled it was unlawful to dissolve the Tshwane Metro Council. It follows a High Court ruling from last year that declared the Gauteng government's decision to dissolve the council as invalid. Now, the Apex Court has directed Gauteng Cogta MEC to investigate the cause of the deadlock at the council. Maile has now held the briefing following that judgment. eNCA's senior reporter Siphamandla Goge was following that briefing for us. Siphamandla, Maile, is he taking any responsibility for his decision?
Not at all. He says it was not his personal decision, it was the decision of the Gauteng Provincial Executive Council, so therefore he cannot be held responsible or liable for the costs. We know that the DA in Gauteng has said that he must fork out from his own pocket. It's something that he's dismissing, saying why are they singling him out, because he's not the one who took the decision. His was just to communicate and enforce the decision of the Provincial Executive. So let's take a listen to him.
Why must I be personally liable? Maybe you should have asked them, and you should ask them that question. Because firstly, the decision to dissolve, it's a decision of the Gauteng Executive Council under the leadership, the capable leadership of Premier David Makhura. I'm part of it, and I support the decision, and I spoke in support in public and all that. So you try to isolate me from the collective. You must ask yourself, why? Ask yourself why. Because they've probably identified me as a person who's making things difficult for them. I don't know, but I don't usually like talking about myself, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why must I mean, even the courts, if you read the judgment, and that's why I'm saying those chaps are dumb cops. I don't know how they run their organization. Because the first thing you do is to read, comprehend, and understand. The judgment is not even scathing on all the different matters that were before the courts. Because if we were reckless, we were mindless, we were all these sorts of things that they say we are, the court would have been scathing on us. And the courts don't take kind to people who take matters for frivolous reasons.
So, Siphamandla, the court has ordered him to investigate. He says he respects the decision of the Apex Court. Is he going to investigate that council and what happened?
Indeed, he has no choice. I know earlier on he said, well, the judgment is not scathing, but for me, unwarranted and unlawful is scathing. That's what the majority judgment of the Con Court says. So 5 judges in total say the decision was unwarranted, it was unlawful. I think that is good enough for the MEC to account. But he says now that he's been directed by the Con Court to investigate circumstances that led to the municipality being dysfunctional. He will abide by that, but he still needs to go back to the Gauteng Provincial Executive and seek their guidance, because they are the ones who took that decision. Let's take a listen to him.
Saying I must investigate. So I've been directed by the Con Court. But you'll see tomorrow, because people don't read. They'll be saying I'm investigating Tshwane because of this or that. No, the Con Court has directed me. Who am I? So that's why I'm going to EXCO to say to EXCO, Con Court says I must investigate. I've got the power in terms of Section 106. I'm not just going to implement that. I must get the views of the Premier, of other colleagues in the Executive Council, and agree that if we investigate, what are the terms of reference? What do we want to achieve? So that's what the Con Court said, not me.